Hi, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Career and Education. In today's video, we will be discussing our financial aid word of the week, cost of attendance, or you will see the acronym COA. Let's get started. When colleges are estimating the cost of attending their institution, there are different variables that go into the total. Let's look at this example. And in this example, we are using the 2015 to 2016 estimated yearly cost for LSU or Louisiana State University. Go Tigers. Okay, so in looking at our line items, we see we have tuition and fees, housing, and that's if you stay on campus, meal plan, books and supplies, and if you're an international student, you have to take out mandatory health insurance. And this may vary based on the college or university that you attend. So what we're going to do is walk through each of these items to see how it's calculated and what goes into it, okay? Now, for tuition and fees, if you notice, this is the only cost that is different for the resident, which means you are a resident of Louisiana. A non-resident means you live outside of the state of Louisiana. Say, for instance, I live in Texas and I'm applying to LSU. I would be considered a non-resident because I live in Texas, excuse me, and I'm applying to attend Louisiana State University. And international student is self-explanatory. Basically, that means a student that is not from the United States, okay? These are the only totals that are different. So for our tuition and fees, for the resident, it's $9,714. Look at the big jump. When you're a non-resident, it's $26,877, and that's how much it is for an international student as well. It's $26,877. In looking at the totals, we can see the difference in being a resident and a non-resident. Now, if you're interested in going to an out-of-state college, don't let the amount of being a non-resident deter you, because some colleges, based on your ACT or SAT scores, if you are a merit scholar, or if you apply for merit scholarships, there are different scholarships that may be awarded to pay that difference of being the difference in between being a resident and a non-resident student. So again, if you don't live in a state where you want to apply and you will be considered a non-resident, don't let it deter you from applying. You never know what scholarships or funding that the school may give you to apply there. Okay, so let's look at the total. So for a resident, looking at the bottom line item, it's $21,224 for the year. That means for the fall semester and also the spring semester. For a non-resident, it's $38,387, and for international, it's $42,477. Okay, so let's look at the breakdown for tuition and fees first. Okay, and let's see how they calculated to get this amount. And with any college that you plan on applying to, seniors and also parents of college-bound seniors, check and see what different items make up the total. If there's something that you don't understand, either look it up on that college's website or call someone to get more information and ask questions, because it's basically you making an investment in your future, in your child's future, and you want to know every single thing, and you don't want to say, well, I want to know, or I'm not sure what this is. Find out, because it's your money and it's your right to find out, to know every single thing that your money is going towards. Okay, so for tuition and fees, again, it's $9,714 for a resident and $26,877 for a non-resident. And so for our example, these are the only two items we'll look at. Okay, so going to the next slide, we see for the undergraduate tuition and required fees, if you look, let's look back. We said that for a resident for the year it's 9,714, and for the non-resident it's 26,877. So in the doing the adding the totals together for the fall and the spring, or multiplying it by 2, I know that they chose in the example right here the 9,714 and also the 26,877. That is for a student that's taking 14 hours. How do I know that? Basically, the resident total in bold is $4,852 or 4,852. If I multiply that by 2, that is how I came up with the, $9,714. Okay. And also for the non-resident, you see the non-resident fee is $8,581, and then the non-resident total is $13,433. One thing that in showing this example we can see is, what if I'm not taking 14 hours? What if I take 12 hours? So the total cost of attendance that a school has is an estimate. It's an estimation. That's why it said estimated yearly cost, because there are different variables that go into the cost. You may take 12 hours. A student may take 15 hours. So the cost will be different. It's just giving you a foundation to start with. Now for the fees, we see at the top it says part-time only, and this isn't the exhausted list of the student required fees. It's just an example of fees that students have to pay, and some fees will be the same for colleges and then some will be different. Okay, so looking at the full-time, there's a full-time students only. There's a non-refundable $10 registration fee. And we're looking at the first column for the undergraduate. You pay for the student sports recreation, so that's the rec center. They have a crisis intervention phone. You pay for the radio station. You pay a little bit for the performing arts. So there are different fees that students have to pay when they attend college. Next, we're going to look at the housing, okay? And across the board for the resident and the non-residential student, it's the same, but it's different for an international student, okay? So, for example, we will be using the resident and the non-resident student, and it's $6,040. In looking at the different residential colleges, the dorms, the halls that LSU have, to come up with the $6,040, I can see and look at the dorm highlighted with the dotted line in green. That's for Beauregard Hall. So if you are a student that's living in a 2-student room with a hall bath, the cost is $3,020 per semester, but for the total for the year is $6,040. Okay, but in looking, you can see there are different totals. So if you were at a residential college, you would be paying higher, and a residential college can be where, and for LSU, it's students who have the same major. Like for instance, you will see it says career discovery. I'm not sure what that is, but I know for the agricultural residential college, basically everyone in that dorm is an agriculture major. Okay, and you have the choice of a 2-student room with a suite bath or a 2-student room with a private bath. Then they have the business residential college. So the traditional dorms most times are lower than the specialty type dorms where most of the students have the same major. Okay. Now let's look at the meal plan. And so for our meal plan, we see that our total is $3,970. And this, remember, is for the year. So in looking at our meal plans, there are 3 meal plans that LSU provide. There is one where you have the 19 Tiger meals per week. That's $2,129 per semester, and that's the more pricier one out of all the 3. Then the middle one is the 15 Tiger meals per week. Oh, and also it shows that you have 375 paw points, and this is for the middle, the one where we know that this is what was charged for the estimated yearly cost, that you have 375 paw points per semester. And then the last one is 12 Tiger meals per week. You have 600 points, and your total is $1,956 per semester. So for our example of the estimated yearly cost, we know that we're saying we chose the 15 Tiger meals per week. And what's pretty cool, you can see in this example where you can use your paw points, like Subway, McDonald's, Take 5, Chick-fil-A, a plethora of places. Now, be warned, especially if you're an incoming freshman or a senior about to graduate, points can go very quickly because it's convenient to say, oh, I'll just go out to eat, and you run out of paw points pretty quickly. So that's one rule that I know a lot of incoming freshmen learn their first year, is they have to learn to be disciplined with their points, because you run out of points, and when you run out of points and you don't have any more money, your parents would basically, or you would have to pay to have more points added onto your card. Okay, so again, in this example, our meal plan that was in the estimated yearly cost is $1,985 per semester, or it's $3,970 for the year. I was trying to calculate in my head and I forgot the total that quick. All right, let's move on to books and supplies. Okay, so we're saying the estimated cost for books and supplies is $1,500. Now, again, this is just an estimated cost. This is not how much your books and supplies will cost. Okay, and one of the things, when you click, it'll take you to, like, for instance, when you're you've already registered for your classes, it'll show you what materials and also books that you need. As you know, it depends on your major, what classes you take. Everybody will not. Now, college books are expensive. However, we know we don't want to pay full price. Number one, because we may not want to keep the book. The only time that you may want to keep books that you buy are for your major or for major classes. Like, say for instance, I am a computer science major, and one of the books that I have to buy for my class is a book on Python, which is a programming language. Well, I would want to keep that book because that would be something that I would want to reference back. Buying books at maybe the college has a Barnes and Nobles, or buying it from whatever the bookstore is, it may be higher. What you should do is find out what books that you need for your class and go to Chegg or Amazon to see if you could just rent the book, one, as an option, or two, you can see if the book is cheaper at these two sites. And Amazon and Chegg aren't the only sites that sell books. There may be other sites that sell college textbooks at a discount. These are the only two that are most popular that I know about. Okay, so again, for that $1,500 that is saying for books and supplies, it's an estimate, but not necessarily is that how much money we are going to spend on our books and supplies. Okay. We're not going to go over the mandatory health insurance because, again, this is for an international student. So that's it. That pretty much makes up the cost of attendance. Our financial aid word of the week is cost of attendance. We went through to see how tuition and fees play a part of our total, housing, meal plan, and also books and supplies. This is Shay Jackson with Hype and Career Education. If you have any questions or you need help, it's absolutely free. Give us a call or email us at help@thehypefoundation.org. Talk to you later.